This is going to be an interesting video to make because I am just going to start it by asking this very simple question. Should I lie to you? I know, right? Why would a person ask that question? Why would a YouTuber ask that question? Why would anyone really want to ask that question? Why should anyone ask if a person wants to be lied to? Well, in my case, it's quite simple, actually. A lot of people don't like the fact that I like movies. I'm not making that up. A lot of people out there really hate the fact that I like a lot of movies. A lot of people out there get so emotionally triggered that I like some movies that people legitimately come to me and say that I am just being a contrarian for some unknown weird reason. That I'm just being a contrarian about liking certain things simply because I am trying to stir up drama. If I wanted to stir up drama, trust me, it's really not that hard. I mean, I could really point some cannons at some people and lob some shots. Wouldn't be difficult. Not how I really want to spend my time. Now, there's things that I have said in the past, obviously, but really going forward, that's not how I want to spend my time. Because I don't want to talk about things that I hate. I want to talk about things that I like. Now, arguably, my threshold for certain things is a lot, well, higher than maybe some other people out there, but I have reasons for that. And to understand why I am the way that I am and why I like what I like and how I like what I like, you have to know me as a person. And a lot of people out there don't ever really take the time to know that. A lot of people who don't watch me pretty regularly. A lot of you guys who watch me regularly, you know. In fact, so many people out there, when I did my first review, my spoiler-free review of Star Wars, said, I don't know if I want to see it, but I generally trust your take on things. So I'm going to give it a shot. And a number of those people came back and said, yeah, you were right. The movie was a lot of fun. But a lot of other people out there have attacked me for having the simple audacity to love Star Wars, to love The Rise of Skywalker. You know, it's really weird. It's kind of funny. I've been called a shill. They've been asking me when Disney checks are going to clear. Really kind of putting all of this like power in my hands that I simply don't have. But by all means, if you want to think I'm some kind of omnipotent deity here in the YouTube space, I'll take the cred. But when it comes to me personally, when it comes to what I talk about, how I approach it, I don't lie to you. I don't have a reason to lie to you. I gain nothing by lying to you. Because if I lie to you, that means I have to lie to myself. And after a while, it comes out. It always comes out. But first, let me take you back. Let me give you a brief overview of my history, just so we can be on the same page. I've been a movie fan my entire life. My mother has told me repeatedly that the very first movie she took me to was Return of the Jedi back in 1983 when I was just a little over a year old. Do I remember that experience? No, not at all. But her explanation of the experience has always stuck with me. Because you know how it is when you go to a movie and you see someone in there with a baby and you go, wait for home video. I didn't pay money to listen to your kid cry, Karen. Anyway, we've all been there. She said that when she took me to go see Return of the Jedi back in 1983, I sat there, eyes glued to the screen, never made a sound. Right? And that's kind of always been my go-to when it comes to movies. I remember renting Empire Strikes Back with my mom telling me that it was Return of the Jedi when I was a kid and being very disappointed there were no Ewoks, but discovering my love of Empire Strikes Back at an early age. I love watching movies. I like to be entertained. It doesn't take much to entertain me, obviously, but that's okay because to me, it's not just the story as it's presented. It's a lot of the technical achievements, the technical aspects, how they did it. I look up the history of movies, production stories, tips and trivia, Easter eggs. I look it all up. So when I'm watching it, I have things to look for. I look for the craft that goes into establishing what we see before us. These 2 to 2.5, if not 3 hour long movies were not made in a single day. They're made over months, and they're made by thousands and thousands and thousands of people who are all hired to give it their best shot to make the best possible product that they can. Does it always work? No, of course not. But there's always an effort. There's always a college try. And my approach to that has always been, yeah, I'm going to go in with as much positivity as humanly possible. And if I'm entertained, then I'm entertained. It doesn't always mean the movie's good. It just means that I'm entertained and I'm going to enjoy it. And if I'm enjoying myself, then it's not time or money wasted. And if people want to know my thoughts and my opinions on this kind of stuff, I'm not going to lie to you and tell you that I didn't enjoy myself. Now, your mileage may vary, and I say that all the time, but I'm also telling you my thoughts and my opinions. So when I get told that I'm being a contrarian, or that I should just attack the movie that everyone seems to be attacking, quite frankly, before many of them even saw it, I can't do it. I'm 37 years old. I've spent 14 years of my life working in movie theaters. A lot of that time was spent working at the Santee Drive-In Theater in Santee, California, a 2-screen drive-in that operates on 2 double features, side 1 and side 2. I've seen more movies than I ever probably cared to count, good, bad, and the other. But for me, it's always the experience of seeing the movies that matters about as much as the movie itself. Look at the movie The Room, for example. It's arguably a terrible film. But the first time I experienced that movie was going to LA at the Sunset Theater, the Sunset 5, for a Saturday night midnight show where Tommy Wiseau himself came out and introduced the movie. I was absolutely hammered. I was with my friends, and we had a blast. And ever since then, and it's been 10 years, I think back on that experience fondly. And when I rewatch The Room, which I actually will do from time to time, 100% unironically, I remember those moments and how they made me feel. And that adds to my enjoyment of the movie and my time spent with it. If I were lying about that, I would be lying to myself. I'd be denying my own fun. That's why I'm not going to do it. That's why I can't do it. I've legitimately had that conversation with my therapist when we were talking about YouTube. And I said, you know how much money I could make if all I did is trash things? You know any idea how much money I could earn if all I did was just crap all over everything? And then I told her, I'm like, look, I can't do it. I physically cannot do it. I cannot lie to you guys about what I like or what I don't like. And she actually stopped and she went, yeah, I can see that. I can see that you are at physical odds with yourself over that. This game, this job, makes cynics out of a lot of people. I know, I've been there. I spent many years in the anti-SJW community fighting back against radical feminists or social justice warriors, arguing up a storm and hitting the same talking points every single time for years on end. It destroyed me on the inside. It did. It absolutely did. I wasn't happy. I felt trapped. I felt stuck. That's why I created this channel, to get away, to leave, to move on. And you know what? I have. This is now my primary channel. This is where I put my focus. And I've done that by not lying to you, by not telling you the truth about how I feel, by manufacturing things or pumping them up in a way to make you feel something that is not how I feel about something. We can disagree till the cows come home, and I'm fine with that. By all means, we can have conversations about this. We can have full-on debates about this. I am eager to dive into a Rise of Skywalker debate with somebody because I'm eager to destroy them. That's my ego talking, but still, I would win at the end of the day. You can't really look at me right now and think to yourself, yeah, he doesn't know his Star Wars. You can't really say that right now. But no, listen, I mean, I'm being a little bit jokey, but I'm serious. I cannot lie to you guys about how I feel. Take Terminator Dark Fate, for example. That was a fun one. I saw it, enjoyed the hell out of it, right? But apparently, if you listen to some people out there, it's just nothing more than anti-male, SJW, pro-feminist trash. It's politically pushed agenda, because Tim Miller made a comment about Linda Hamilton scaring misogynists. I know, the horror. None of that had to do anything with the movie, by the way. Sarah Connor's a badass character. She would whoop your ass in a heartbeat. Anyone who was offended by that comment would have their ass handed to them in a heartbeat by Linda Hamilton. You know that I'm right. But is the movie woke garbage? Of course not. Of course not. Was there a lot of heart and a lot of love put into Terminator Dark Fate? Absolutely. If you've watched the other movies and paid attention, absolutely. And that's what I look for going in. See, I went to film school. I graduated in 2007. I moved to Los Angeles to pursue that in 2010. It didn't work out the way that I wanted it to, but it did bring me to YouTube. And here it is 8 years later, and I own a home in Washington. I have 2 beautiful daughters, and I get to talk about movies for a living. It may not be precisely where I'm at in regards to wanting to tell stories, but I get to talk about stories. And that to me is pretty cool too. I can't complain about that. I'm actually very thankful to be here. I'm very thankful to be doing this on a daily basis, because this brings me joy. This brings me happiness. Why would I ever want to thwart that? Why would I ever want to throw it away by lying to people all the time about how I really feel about something? By looking for anything I could that's negative to pump it up with as much hyperbole and clickbait as I could in order to earn as much as I could by keeping you guys in the negative dark space. I don't want to do that. Do you want me to do that? I mean, I'm legitimately asking you guys at this point, do you want me to start lying to you? If that's what the audience generally wants, I could give it a shot. I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to feel like I'm being real. I'm not going to feel like I'm being myself. I'm going to feel terrible. I'm going to feel just disgusted with myself if I do that. I don't want to be mad at movies. I want to geek out, man. Like, I want to geek out. I want to geek out about Star Wars like all the time. I like reading about the lore and how it applies to some of the projects, some of the movies and stuff. Like, a lot of the lore going into Rise of Skywalker was pretty dope, right? Listening to all that stuff, man, it's a good time. It's a great time to sit there and geek out with your friends, because it does remind me of growing up and hanging out with my friends at the theater, at the drive-in. Like, I'll give you guys this example. Ever see the movie The Core? Right? The Hilary Swank movie, The Core, where they have to go reignite the Earth's core by using nuclear bombs. It's a fun disaster movie to an extent. But I sat there with my buddies one night. We were watching it. There's about 5 of us there. We're all sitting there drinking beers and smoking cigarettes. And we start talking about the movie. And we start like doing every dumb thing we could in regards to having the conversation about how we could potentially use like thermonuclear devices to reignite the Earth's core if it were to happen. I don't remember the specifics of the conversation. All I know is that none of us understand theoretical nuclear physics, and we're not scientists. We're idiots that are drunk talking about a movie at a drive-in. But at the end of the day, we had a lot of fun with that movie. We had a lot of fun going in. We had a lot of fun talking about it. We had a lot of fun just being in that moment. And I can look back on that moment fondly. And I can find the excitement and the joy and the hilarity in that situation and talk about it. You know? That's how it is. That's my particular approach to things. One of the things that I love to geek out about as much as Star Wars, and this is going to make you guys laugh, but it's 100% true, Downton Abbey. Oh my God, that British soap opera. It's one of my all-time faves. It's in my top 5 favorite shows of all time. 100%. I just recently saw the movie and I was like waiting for one specific thing to happen that they left a goddamn cliffhanger in the show. I was so mad about that. They finally addressed it, and I looked at my girlfriend and I went like, I called it. You know, I was so happy that they did it. Not in the way I would have liked to have seen them do it, but irregardless, I had fun with it. And that's my point. That's my point here. This is me. This is how excited I get. This is how much fun I want to have. This is not me trying to put on a show to lie to you. I'm not that person. Do I take what I do seriously? Yeah, I do it 100%. Sometimes too seriously. I will fully admit that. But when I approach movies and entertainment and Hollywood, it's not just a game to make people as angry as possible to earn as much money. I want to have the conversations. Do I like money? Yeah, 100%. Who doesn't like money? I love money. I'm a capitalist, goddammit. But still, I would rather there be the conversation and the connection over it than anything else. Anyway, I do leave the question to you. Do you want me to lie to you? Should I lie to you? You tell me. I'm legitimately asking. This isn't a ploy. I'm legitimately asking. Let me know down in the comments. And be sure to like the video if you want. If not, that's cool too. I'll talk to you all later. Have yourself a great day. And peace out. Hey, thank you very much for watching the video. If you want to keep the conversation going, and if you've made it this far, you clearly do, come on in and join the Discord. Link is in the video description. Can't wait to see you there. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.